So again,
not really. I've got some, yeah. Not really. I don't have much furniture in my home because my home is just a apartment that I rent, and what I only have is what the landlord left for me. So there is not too much furniture.
Okay. Who bought the furniture in your home?
As I mentioned before, the landlord bought it.
Mm-hmm. Why?
As the where I live now is it's a renting it's a apartment that I rent. So the landlord provided with all the furniture inside the room. So he just left the furniture for me.
What kind of furniture do you like?
I like cupboards because I have lots of personal stuff with me, and cupboards can help me to store them. So I like cupboards the most. I think they are quite useful.
Mm-hmm. What's your favorite piece of furniture in your home?
The cupboard, and also the cupboard which store clothes, because I also have a lot of clothes, so they can help me to organize these clothes.
Okay, all right, okay, thanks, Julia. Okay, not bad, pretty good. So these questions about furniture, I understand they're not questions that you can really give too much information about, so it's hard to keep talking when you're answering these questions. But for example, the second question, so I understand you said that your landlord bought the furniture in your home, and that's fine, but you could still give a little bit more information. Like you could say, my landlord bought the furniture in my home. The previous people who lived there didn't leave any of their furniture. They took all of their furniture. So all the furniture that's in my home now was bought by my landlord. Or you could say, my landlord bought all the furniture in my home. I didn't bring any furniture with me from the last place where I lived. So because I didn't have any furniture, I just used the furniture that the landlord gave me. Something like that, just to give a little bit more information rather than just giving a very short 1 or 2 sentence answer. Okay, so generally your answers were quite good. It's some good vocabulary in your answers and not many mistakes, a very low rate of mistakes, Julia. So it seems that you were able to handle this topic, and I assume you'll probably be able to handle all part 1 topics fairly easily, so that's great. I want to share the useful piece of vocabulary for everyone is landlord. Landlord is 房东. So that's a good word. A lot of students wouldn't know that word, so it's good that you use that word correctly, Julia. Well done. Just maybe one correction from question 4. So you said your favorite piece of furniture in your home is the cupboard where you store your clothes. I don't think that's a cupboard, Julia. I don't think that's what we would describe as a cupboard. It's probably a wardrobe or something like that, or a closet.
Yeah, wardrobe. I forgot the word.
Okay, yeah. So as far as I know, the difference between a cupboard and a wardrobe is a cupboard is usually for things in the kitchen, like cups and plates and whatever, knives and forks. Well, yeah, cups and plates and bowls and things like that, and glasses. So that's usually what a cupboard is. But I'm not even 100% sure about that, but I'm pretty sure that's right. If you want to know for sure, I suggest that you go and Google it. But I'm pretty certain that we don't put clothes in a cupboard. We just put clothes in a wardrobe or a closet or something like that. Okay. Okay, so thanks, Julia. Well done. All right. Okay, guys, so Julia has got a chance now. So anybody else who wants to answer these part 1 questions can put up your hand. 有回答的话，你可以举手一下。Somebody's asking if we can say a clothes cupboard, like I put my clothes in a clothes cupboard. No, there's no such collocation as clothes cupboard. No. Okay, so let's get our next student, and that's going to be Lydia. Lydia. Hello, Lydia.
Good evening.
Hi. Okay, hi, Lydia. Okay, so question number 1 for you. Do you have a lot of furniture in your home?
Yes, it is. My home is the surface of my home is. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm going to begin again. Yes, it is. There are many furnitures. There are lots of pieces of furniture in my home, and I have to say those furnitures are all made of wood and of classical style that I love, which makes me feel happy, and they are quite good looking. That's all.
Okay. No, that's good. That's fine. Who bought the furniture in your home?
Actually, it was my parents who bought those furniture, because our house is bought in 2003. At that time, I was just a little kid of 6 years old or something. 6 years old, actually. So at that time, I could not afford to buy I could not afford a furniture. Any piece of furniture, and my parents, they just buy some furniture to decorate our house. That's all.
Okay. What kind of furniture do you like?
Oh, that's an interesting question. Although I have told you that the classical furniture makes me happy, and I think they are quite good looking, but now I am fascinated by the European cultures, especially the medieval style. I think that style that could be fascinating if I could buy some pieces of furniture of medieval style at my home. It looks like you are going to 16th century. Oh, that could be really nice. It's like a garden, and you could make.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you. What's your favorite piece of furniture in your home?
That must be my bed. You know, sometimes even if you are sitting on your chair after a long time, you could feel really tired, especially when I walked before. I really feel I'm tired. I am a slave of the chair. But lying on your bed, wow, that's cool. You could release yourself totally release yourself. And I really like reading books or watch movies and listening to music on my bed. And sometimes when I'm sleeping, I made a lot of great dreams on my bed. That's cool.
Okay. Thanks, Lydia. Okay. Thanks, Lydia. All right. That's enough. Okay. So good job. You gave good, detailed and long answers to those questions. So well done. You gave quite complete answers for all those questions. There's
freestyle.
Yeah, sure. No, Lydia, you're in a lot of your expressions. You're using kind of Chinglishy expressions, and so not quite. You need to improve your vocabulary a bit and get your vocabulary to be a bit more accurate. So I'm going to give you some examples. Just there at the end, you said when you lie in the bed, you could release yourself. You could release yourself. No, that's not an English expression. So does anybody know? Exactly. Yeah, Alice has the right verb there. Yeah, to relax. So you can lie in the bed to relax. It feels nice to relax on the bed, something like that. but in English we can say, or we almost never say, I think maybe even never say, release oneself. You said there was something. You said there was something in your last answer. You said, "I am a something of the chair." I am a something of the chair. I don't know.
Slave. I'm a slave of the chair, which means, when you are working, you should always stick to the chair, and you feel you are a slave.
Okay. Yeah, I understand. But if you just say I'm a slave of the chair, I think people aren't going to understand. So, given that,
I should give some expressions.
Yeah, maybe, or maybe just don't say that. You could just say something like, I spend the whole day in a chair, so I don't want to sit in a chair when I go home. Maybe something like that.
Okay.
Because if you say I'm a slave of the chair, a lot of people aren't going to understand you. And then you could explain it, but then you've wasted like 30 seconds just on that simple idea that you spend a lot of time sitting down. So it might be just better to say, I spend a lot of time sitting down all day, so I prefer my bed to my chair when I get home. Let's see. Okay. For in your answer to question 3, you said that's an interesting question. So the question was, what kind of furniture do you like? I don't think that's really an interesting question, Lydia. That's just a normal question. If you want to use an expression like that's an interesting question, probably wait until part 3. Because in part 3, some of the questions might actually be interesting. In part 1, these questions are not really, they're not amazing questions. What furniture do you like? They're just normal questions. So better to leave that expression until maybe part 3.
Because I need to speak something, and during this period, I could think of, what I'm going to say. So this is,
Yeah, I understand. You need a filler expression. So I think maybe a better one that you could use for all questions might be, let me think about that. Let me think about that. Because it doesn't matter then if it was a good question or a bad question or a stupid question or a simple question. You can always say, let me think about that. And that might be a better filler word or filler expression.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
Okay, let's see. Your answer to question 2, you said that when your parents bought that furniture, you were 6, and then you went on to explain that you couldn't afford to buy furniture at that time. There's no need to explain that, Lydia.
I can't.
Yeah, you don't need to explain that you couldn't afford to buy your own furniture. That's obvious because you were 6. But so then you might be thinking, well, what could I say about the furniture in my home, or about who bought the furniture in my home? So you could say something like, well, my parents bought the furniture in my home when we moved into our home in, 2003, whatever, it doesn't matter. So you could say that, and then you could say they haven't bought any new furniture since that time. So we've had the same furniture for 15 years or 17 years, and I haven't really bought any furniture because I'm not interested in furniture, and I don't feel that we need to buy new furniture or something like that. So you could give more information for that answer, but there's no need to say that you didn't, or that you couldn't afford furniture when you were 6, because that's too obvious. There's no need to explain that. Okay.
Thanks a lot.
All right. And just the last thing. So look at question 1. So question 1 was, let me find it again. Do you have a lot of furniture in your home? The first thing you said was, yes, it is. So, Lydia, do you have? How do you answer? Do you have?
Yes, I do.
Exactly. Yes, I do. Do you have a lot? Yes, I do. Or no, I don't. Okay, that's it. Okay. Thanks, Lydia. Good job with your fluency and with the completeness of your answers. You've got to work in your vocabulary a bit. How do you work in your vocabulary? I've got a course here on cctalk called 9 Vocabulary that will help anybody very much with their vocabulary. So maybe try that course, and might be the quickest way to improve your vocabulary. But okay, thank you, Lydia. All right. 还有人想回答这些问题吗？还是我们可以继续到 Part 2？ OK， 还有一个人。OK。
Hi,
Hi, Ruby. Hello. Okay. Okay, Ruby. Let's go. So, question number 1. Do you have a lot of furniture in your home?
Not actually, since the decoration in my house is in a simple style. So we only get table, chair, bed, and closet, sofa, but not anything else.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Who bought the furniture in your home?
Well, my father bought the majority of the furniture in my home, and since I'm haven't working now, I plan to buy a new TV when I just start working, and I saw my parents will be very happy about that.
What kind of furniture do you like?
I'm really into a sofa. It is very technological, and it can just have some very modern function like doing a massage, use it, and it also can play the music if I just turn the Bluetooth with it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What's your favorite piece of furniture in your home?
I guess it might be my table. I mean, I have just spent almost 3 years studying in the desk, and all of my books are on it. Every time I go back home, I will just turn to the desk and just enjoy being with it.
Thank you, Ruby. Okay, pretty good, Ruby. Well done. Let's see. So of your answers, your answer to question 1 and 2 and 4, they were all pretty logical and pretty good. The only one where you didn't make a lot of sense was maybe question 3, but the other ones were good. So question 1, there were no problems really. Question 2 was pretty good, but you said one thing that you said that wasn't right. You said since I haven't working now. So what? How could you say that in a better way? We can't say since I haven't working now.
Since I'm a student now.
Okay, but how would you want to say 因为我现在不工作? How would you say that?
Since I haven't worked now.
Okay, anybody else? What do you guys think at home? How could she say that? Yeah, we've got some answers here, and so yeah, since I don't work now. Since I don't work now. So that's one way. Good. Or since I am not working now. Or since I don't have a job now. Any of those would be okay.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. In question 3, so this was the one where you didn't make much sense. You said, first problem was, you said, I really into sofa.
Yeah, I just learned that the into can just be a paraphrase of like.
It can be, but it's not I into. It's I'm into.
Yeah. Okay.
So so I like something. You can say I'm into that thing. For example, I like football, or I'm into football. That's the same. That's both okay. But it's not I into. It's I'm into. And also, sofa. That word is countable. So it should be I'm into sofas. Okay. Now, and then you went on to talk about this kind of special kind of sofa that has like Bluetooth, and you can play music, and it can give you massages and stuff like that. Okay, but you'd have to explain that at the start. You'd have to say, I'm really into new modern sofas that have lots of different functions, something like that. Whereas you just said, I'm really into sofas, and then you kind of randomly started talking about just this kind of high-tech sofa, one particular kind of high-tech sofa, and so that wasn't so appropriate, really. And so if you want to talk about these kind of a special kind of sofa, then you'd have to say in your first sentence, I'm really into modern, high-tech sofas that can do a lot of things and that have a lot of functions, and then you could explain about those functions.
Okay.
Okay, so that was the one question where you had trouble, that question number 3. And then the last question, your answer was good. You just said, just one little mistake. You said, I spent 3 years studying in the desk. Studying in the desk.
On the desk.
Yeah, okay, on the desk, or maybe at the desk would be the best. On the desk is okay. At the desk is the best. At studying at that desk. Okay, thank you, Ruby.
Thank you.
Okay, I've got a couple of questions. So one question, somebody said, when can we say at, what was it? When can we say at home, or when can we say at our home? Let me see what the question was. Sorry, it's very hard to scroll through these messages. Yeah, when can we say at my home? And so if there was, like, I'm trying to think of examples. So if you had a party, you could say, there was a party at my home last night. There was a party at my home last night. That would be okay. Or if, so some kind of a party or event, if that took place at your home, you could say, there was a party at my home last night, or there was a party at my home last weekend. Let's see, what else? If something happened, so you could say, something bad happened at my home. Something bad happened at my home last night. So that would be okay as well. So there are a few instances when you can say at my home, but if you're talking about something that is in my home. For example, this example, furniture. You can have furniture in your home. You can't have furniture at your home. Okay. I'm trying to think. Yeah, that's there's a couple of examples. Well, I thought one more example of when you might say at my home or at your home or whatever. You could say, if you were arranging to meet somebody, you could say, let's meet at my home at 7 o'clock, or let's meet at your home at 7 o'clock. So there are instances where you can say at your home. Okay, have we got another question? Oh yeah, okay. What about styles of closet or desk? Not sure really. You could say, so in terms of desk, you could say like a desk for studying, and then, but most desks are really kind of for studying. So in terms of styles, I don't know. I think it's better not to talk about that. There's no real need to talk about that. Talk about a particular style of desk or a particular style of closet. So even me as a native speaker, I don't really know what kind of different styles of desks and closets there are. It's not really important. But I am going to share with you guys some different kinds of furniture, because I think this third question there about what kind of furniture do you like, that could be kind of difficult, because it's the type of thing that you would need to think about a little bit before you could come up with an idea, probably. So here I've got some examples. If you look in the text box, I've written some examples. So for example, so here are some things you could say in answer to that question. What kind of furniture do you like? You could talk about categories of furniture, like you could say, I really like chairs, and I don't like standing up. I like to sit down all day. That's really a terrible habit. I really like chairs. I really like sitting down all day. That would be okay. You could say, I really like tables because whatever, I like eating food and I like studying, and I always study at a nice table, and I like to have my food on a nice table. You could say sofas. Sofas is probably a good one, because lots of people love sofas. They're very comfortable, and so it's quite normal that you might really like sofas. Closets, another example, beds. So those are categories. You could answer that third question, what kind of furniture do you like, by talking about a category of furniture. You could also answer it by talking about a style of furniture. And here are 3 or 4 different styles of furniture you could talk about. So antique or classic, they're kind of the same. antique furniture or classic furniture. We'd usually say antique furniture, but it's okay to say classic furniture. It's just like basically old style furniture, and that looks kind of nice and looks kind of appealing. And then the opposite of that is modern furniture. So you could say, well, I prefer modern furniture to antique furniture. I think antique furniture is boring, but modern furniture is well designed. So I prefer to have modern furniture in my home. The last one, in terms of style, that I thought of quickly was minimalist. So minimalist, GTN. So it's like very simple, light furniture. Minimalism. This idea is like for people who don't want to have too much stuff. People who don't want to have a lot of things in their home, and they are minimalist people. And the idea is that if you have too many things in your home, you don't have enough space to move around, and having too many things causes you to feel stressed because you're always trying to find your things and trying to take care of your things. So people who are minimalists, and I am a minimalist, we believe that by having less stuff, you can be happier. So some kinds of furniture are minimalist, and those are furniture that don't take up a lot of space. They're usually pretty light and pretty simple and basic. So that's minimalist furniture. That's another style of furniture. The materials, you could talk about, there's not many materials really, but you could talk about leather furniture or fabric. So fabric is just pretty much any type of soft furniture, like a sofa. A sofa is usually our fabric, a type of fabric furniture. And then you could talk about how it feels. So some people prefer really soft furniture, like a sofa where you really sink into the sofa and you sit down really low into the sofa if it's very soft. And then the opposite of that, we wouldn't really say hard furniture. That doesn't, it wouldn't be common to say hard furniture. The opposite of soft in terms of furniture is firm. So for example, a bed. Some people like really soft beds that are just very soft, and then other people like beds that are quite firm. So not quite hard, but like not soft either. So for example, if you lie on a bed and you lie on the bed, and when you lie on it, the bed goes down like this very much, then it's a soft bed. But if you lie on the bed and it just goes down a little bit, that's a firm bed. So, for example, I prefer firm beds to soft beds. And so those are so that question 3 is a little bit difficult. So here are some things you could talk about in that question 3. And it's only necessary to choose one or two of these things. So maybe choose one category of furniture, or maybe choose one style of furniture, or maybe choose one feel of furniture, or maybe choose one furniture material. Okay, that's probably enough for part 1. We're going to go and move on to part 2 very shortly. 但是我首先要提醒大家，如果你想每个礼拜2次跟我一起练习你的口语，你可以参加我们 Learn with John 小组课。在接下来的这个礼拜，我们的课都订满了，但是偶尔我们会有一些学生请假，然后如果有个学生请假的话，其他的一个学生可以来参加。所以如果你要，比如说这个周末有人请假，所以如果你这个周末要参加一个跟我一起练习雅思口语的小组课，你可以只要练习0就可以。然后我们也有一个 waiting list， 就是一个等候名单。所以如果某一个学生请假的话，我们会直接联系到那个 waiting list 的那些学生，然后如果他们有时间上课，他们就可以那天来上课。所以如果你想把你的名字加到我们的 waiting list， 也可以联系Lynn告诉他。除了那个之外，我们还有我们的40天雅思教材。那个40天雅思教材是通过双向翻译方法和shadowing 因子跟读法帮助学生准备雅思。如果你不知道怎么做，如果你不知道什么是因子跟读法，什么是双向翻译方法 bidirectional translation， 你可以来我们 Learn with John 公众号，微信公众号，我在那边解释那些学习方法和很多其他的我用来学习外语的方法。Okay, so let's move on to part 2 now. Okay, and again, before we start part 2, I'm going to give you guys a sentence to translate. So the first person who translates this sentence correctly will get a chance to speak. So 第一个能正确的把我马上就给你们发的句子，正确的把那个句子翻译成英文的人就可以参加我们的 Part 2，就可以我会打开他的麦克风，他可以我会听他的 Part 2回答。所以这一句话就是我每年花很多钱参加不同考试，我每年花很多钱参加不同考試。So how would you say that in English? Okay, still no answers yet. Okay, we got one answer. Almost Lexi. Try again. How would you say Tanja? You didn't really translate Tanja. Okay. Okay, I see one correct answer. All right, I see one. Okay, a few people are getting correct answers now. Okay, so I'm gonna give you guys your correction. So the first person, Lexi, this was a good sentence, Lexi, but you didn't translate Tanja, so you didn't have the verb that goes with exam. So I'm not going to count that as a correct answer. One person said participate in different exams. Nope, we don't participate in an exam. Fiona, you had the same problem as Lexi. You didn't really translate the verb. And then Julia said, I spend a lot of money taking different tests every year. Very good. Okay, well done, Julia, again. Well done, good translation again. So Julia, if you want to do this part 2, I'm going to let you do this part 2. So a lot of money taking different tests every year. So there are basically 2 common verbs that go with test, or to go with exam, and that's to do a test or to take a test, to do an exam or to take an exam. So I was listening to a lot of these part 2s earlier, and a lot of people were talking about the things that they spend money on, and a lot of people were saying they spend money on participating in exams or taking part in exams or attending exams, and those are all not right. So 很多把参加那个东西翻译成英文的方法，然后所以为了正确的学习所有那些方法，你应该学习很多，就是很多词语搭配，然后跟考试有关的英语词语搭配，就是 to take a test or to do a test， 不是 to participate in a test or to attend a test， 或者有很多其他的可以用在英语可以用参加的表述，但是 test 针对 test 的那个 or exam 就是 to take a test or to do a test. Okay, so here are the 2 part 2s that we're going to do today. So one of them is an activity you enjoy doing that is a bit expensive. So 你喜欢做的费用相对高的一个爱好或者一个活动。And the second one is describe a person you know who helps others. 所以要是一个经常帮助别人的人，你认识的一个经常帮助别人的人。So you can do whichever one of these you want. You can choose one. Every student should choose one and prepare for that one. So you've got 1 minute to prepare. 所以在这2个 part 2话题中，只有选一个，然后准备哪一个 part 2话题。OK， 你们准备的时间现在开始。 你就把它当成
有时候在你的包里，可是抓在你
那 那 OK 我那个。OK， 时间到了，然后我也要提醒大家，提醒在哔哩哔哩看这个直播的人，如果你要参与到这个课程，你应该来 cctalk。所以就是知乎，如果你在知乎看这个直播，就要来cctalk， 然后可以参与到这个直播，我可以听你回答这些雅思口语考试的问题，然后我可以评价你的英语，所以我们马上就要开始练习 Part 2，然后以后我们也练习 Part 3。Okay, so our first Part 2 topic is describe an activity you enjoy doing that is a bit expensive. And the first person, so our competition winner is Julia. So Julia, you're going to get the first chance to answer this Part 2 topic. Okay, Julia, are you ready?
Yes.
Cool. Okay, so I'd like you to describe an activity you enjoy doing that is a bit expensive. Remember, you have 1 to 2 minutes for this. Don't worry if I stop you. You can start speaking now, please.
Yeah, today I would like to talk about taking French classes. That's an activity that I enjoy doing and a little expensive. I first did that activity about 2 and time, and also and the class is offered every week. So every weekend I went to the Alliance Française to attend my French classes. It's pretty good, and also I had the chance to speak a lot of French with French native speakers, and it's quite good, but it's a little expensive because each season offering 10 classes and 5 hours each class, and the fee is about 3,000 yuan, and so that's more than 300 yuan per class, and also about 60 yuan per hour, and it's a little bit expensive, but is just affordable for me because I have started working. So that's really a good experience having these classes.
Thank you.
I think that was it. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, thank you, Julia. Okay, well done. Okay, pretty good answer overall, Julia. So it's a good example of something that's a little expensive, so it was a good idea to talk about. And you kept talking pretty well, so I stopped you after like 1 minute and 40 seconds. So I think you would kind of maybe run out of ideas a little bit at the end, Julia. Is that right? Or?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So let me think of what else could you have talked about there. You could have talked about, so remember there's always a who, what, why, where, when, how. So you could have talked about who, like who do you take the classes with? Have you met any friends in your French classes? And specifically maybe, so you said something about native speakers, how you have a lot of chances to talk to native speakers. And you could say about one particular teacher who you like or something like that. And who, what, why, you didn't talk about the why. So why did you start to take French classes and things like that? And you didn't really talk about that. And so let's see, who, what, why, where. And so you said in Alliance Française, you didn't really say in what city, or is it far from your home or anything like that. So there's always a lot of things you can talk about to make sure that you can keep going. But still, even though you didn't talk about those things, you still give a pretty complete answer. You were just kind of running out of steam a little bit, or running out of ideas a little bit at the end, but it was still pretty good. One good piece of vocabulary I want to highlight for everybody is you said you have a job, so it's affordable. For me, affordable, very good word there. So if something is affordable, that means you have enough money to buy it. You can afford it. So 就是你买得起那个东西. Something is affordable. So well done. That was a very good piece of vocabulary. Just one little grammar correction I'm going to make, Julia. You said, I had the chance to spoke to a lot of French people. I had the chance to spoke to a lot of French people.
I had the chance to practice speaking with a lot of French people.
So the verb is right, but the form of the verb is wrong.
I have the chance.
So I had the chance to speak, not spoke, speak. I had the chance to speak to a lot of French people. Yeah. So yes. When you were talking earlier, you said spoke, so it should be speak. Okay, all right, but that was it. That was the only kind of important mistake. Thanks, Julia. Good job. Good job. Okay. We've got somebody who asked a question. Let me see. Can we say spend money in doing? No, we can't say spend money. You could only say spend money in a place. So, for example, I spend a lot of money in Indian restaurant last night, or I spent a lot of money in New York when I was in New York on holidays, or I spent a lot of money in a nightclub in Hong Kong last year, whatever. So we'd only say spend money in a place. We wouldn't say spend money in doing something. We just say but we could say spend money doing something without in. Spend money doing something. All right, thank you for that question. Okay, we've got a few people putting up their hands. Anybody else want to talk? Put up your hand now. So everybody will play part 2 when you an expensive activity. 你可以现在就说. Okay, I think we've already chosen someone. So Fiona, hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can, yeah, I can hear you clearly. Great. Okay, yeah. Fiona. Okay. So tell us about an activity that you enjoy doing that is somewhat expensive. You can start speaking now, please.
Okay, and I would like to talk about fitness because that is the thing I like to do recently. It has become my one of my habits, and I started to doing fitness job since last December, because at that time I got my physical examination report, and it was not seemed so good. So for health for some health reason, I have to become stronger to keep my body in a healthy state. So I started to take a fitness course in a gym that is near my apartment. So it is very convenient for me to do fitness job and to take their course. And why it is so a little expensive? Because I have to pay my coach fee, and I have to pay almost 5,000 yuan for half a year, and because the gym is close to my apartment, so I can walk to the gym, and now I take their course for 3 times a week. So my body has become healthier, and I would like and I will. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
I'm a little
Okay,
nervous.
thank you, Fiona. Okay, good job. So Fiona, well done. Your pronunciation is very good. Your level of fluency seems very good. You didn't seem to struggle to produce that answer. You spoke very naturally and fluently, and you kept up a good rhythm. So so that was all good. So generally, it's a pretty good answer. But the one thing I'm confused about is you said a few times the expression "doing fitness job" and "to do fitness job." So what do you mean by job? I don't know. Are you training to be a fitness trainer or something? Or
no, I want to say I had their fitness course.
Okay.
I was trained by a coach. Yeah.
Okay, but I think you used the word job. Was that just a mistake, or did I mishear that, or something?
Yeah. It's a mistake. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So it's not. So remember, like job is like 工作. So whatever you meant there should not have been job. Okay. So that was the only thing that was a bit confusing about your answer. Otherwise, your answer was good. So I want to highlight a sentence that you used that was very good. You said it's important. I think you said it's important to keep my body in a healthy state. Very good.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'll write that for everybody. So to be in a healthy state, it's basically the same as to be healthy. It's another way to say the same thing. And to keep my body healthy or to keep my body in a healthy state, they're both good. They're both acceptable. And that was good. Just one grammar thing, Fiona. A lot of people have this mistake. This is a very common mistake among different people. You said, the thing I like to do recently. The thing I like to do recently. So, Fiona, how do we say recently in Chinese?
Uh, 最近吗?
Kind of. That's kind of right. Yeah, that's if you look it up in the dictionary, that's what it'll be 最近. But how? Does anybody know what's the difference between recently and 最近? Because there is an important difference. Does anybody know? Anybody at home know what 最近和英语的 recently 有什么区别？有没有人知道？
Recently,
so
something happened already, and in Chinese, 最近可能过去的和将来的都有可能。
Exactly, Fiona. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. So in English, recently is just the past. It's just the past. It's not now. It's not the near future. It's just the past. Whereas 最近 is different. It's as Fiona just said. So that means anytime you use recently, you've got to use the past tense. You've got to use the grammar from the past. So it should be maybe something I started doing recently, or something I have been doing recently. Any of those would be okay. Or something I have been enjoying doing recently. Any of those would be okay. But just remember, when you use recently, you've got to use it with the past. Okay. And let's see. And one other important one. Fiona, is this your first time to be in one of these live classes? Or have you done them before with me? Hello, Fiona, are you there?
Oh, sorry. Yes.
这是你第一次参加我们 Learn with John 的直播。第一次。
Yes, first time alive.
Okay.
I bought
no problem.
Your course.
No problem. No, that's fine. That's no problem. But your general level of English seems very good. Don't worry about that. But I just wanted to, because this correction, I've made this correction several times in these classes. So I wonder if all the people at home can remember this correction and remember what the problem is. So Fiona, you said, I take their course 3 times a week. I take their course 3 times a week. So maybe the other people who've watched the previous live classes can remember. So what's the problem there?
Mm-hmm.
Or even Fiona yourself, could you guess maybe what the problem is? So it shouldn't be I take their course 3 times a week.
4 3 times a week. I don't know.
没有人知道吗？我们不能说 I take the course 3 times, or I take the course 3 times a week. Yeah, I think somebody somebody has, yeah, 不要用 for, exactly. So it should be just, I take the course 3 times a week. 3 times a week. Okay, and so
twice a week or 3 times a
exactly,
week.
twice a week, 3 times a week, 10 times a week, it doesn't matter, but there's no for. There's no for in that sentence. So in English, we use for when we talk about time, 时间，比如说每节课都持续1个小时. Every class lasts for an hour. Every class lasts for an hour because that's time. But if we're talking about times, 比如说我做过2次，我去过5次, that's just I have been there twice, or I've done it twice, I've been there 5 times. It's not 4 or 5 times, it's not 4 or 2 times. Is that clear?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay,
Thank
okay,
you
cool.
very much.
Okay. You're welcome. Okay, okay, cool. So well done, Fiona. Good answer in general. Thank you. And let's see, have we got some more questions? We'll go Shola for. Leona, 所以你的意思应该就是如果你错说了 for， 然后你要纠正自己应不应该做纠正，yeah， 应该纠正自己，除非如果你是2分钟以前说了那个错，然后你2分钟之后才想到，那当然不要纠正。但是如果你就是在说的时候就发现shit， 我又说错，又说 for， 你可以说，比如说，你可以说I have been to Australia 2 times. Oh, I have been to Australia 2 times. You could say, or I mean, I have been to Australia 2 times, like that. Okay. All right. Okay, so we'll get one more student for this topic, or just one more student for this topic about an expensive activity. Okay, we're going to choose Lexi. Hello, Lexi.
Hello.
Hi. Okay, cool. So let's see, it's the same topic for you, an activity that you do that is somewhat expensive. Your time to start speaking is now. Or you can start speaking now, please.
Okay. I'm going to talk about snowboarding. I went to a skiing resort in the summer 2 years ago. You might wonder why I went there in summer. It's because in my hometown there is a newly built indoor skiing resort, and it's quite famous at that time. So me and my friend, we went there. It's actually you have to you can buy a premier membership, or you can just buy the card. It's charged by hours, and we bought like 3 hours. I remember it's like 1,500 yuan. It's actually pretty expensive because they provide some skiing equipment, so you don't have to buy them. Also, they have indoor shops, but I look at those prices. They are too expensive, so I decided to rent the skiing equipment. The whole indoor skiing resort is well prepared, and all the skiing slopes are well designed. They have like for beginners, for intermediate or advanced skiers, and
Okay, let's see. Okay. Thank you. Time up. Okay. So pretty good, Lexi. Pretty good answer. A lot of good sentences there. A lot of sentences where you didn't make any mistake. A lot of sentences with perfect grammar. So well done on a lot of your answer there. And good vocabulary in your answer as well. So I think, like the student earlier, I think you were kind of running out of ideas at the end. Is that true?
Yeah, I thought I'm going to answer the next topic, so I prepare for the next topic.
Okay. Well, anyway, there's always, if you keep the question words in your mind, who, what, why, where, when, how, there's always other things to talk about. Like you said, you went with your friends. So how many of your friends were there? You said that you went to this special. artificial ski slope that was open in summer. Where was this? What city was it in? You could have talked about that. You could have talked about how long you were skiing for. You could have talked about, was it your first time going skiing? Was it difficult to learn skiing, or something like that? There's always lots of other things you can talk about for every Part 2 topic, especially if you keep the question words in your mind: who, what, why, where, when, and how. But still, it was a good answer overall. You're quite precise in your use of English. So you form sentences quite well, and your sentences don't generally have a lot of mistakes. So that's good. Maybe the thing you need to improve on a bit is your fluency. So sometimes you get into the middle of a sentence and you stop and you pause and then you think about how to end the sentence. So it's not like for example, Fiona in the last student, she was producing full sentences really quite fluently, so that when she opened her mouth, like a full sentence would come out. And that's good. That you want to develop that skill through a lot of listening and a lot of speaking, the skill to be able to basically finish your sentences a bit more quickly. But still a lot of good things in your answer, Lexi. Let's see, just a couple of little corrections. So at one time you said, so this is a small little grammar correction. You said, it's quite famous at that time. Anybody know? So anybody know what the problem is there? It's quite, so it shouldn't be, it's quite famous at that time. It should be.
It was.
Yeah, thank you, Excel. Yeah, so it was quite famous at that time, because at that time is in the past, so it should be it was. And let's see, just how do we say this? So you were talking about yuan, but let's imagine we're talking about dollars. How would you say that? I've written a message there.
$1,500.
Good. Okay, how can you say that another way?
1,500.
Yeah, it's just 1,500. So there's no end. There's no end there. So it's it's 1,500. So if you're talking about hundreds, like for example, ba by santriga, that's 830. But if you're talking about thousands, like here, echen ubai, that's 1,500. So sanchen sanbai, that's 3,300. It's not 3,300. Okay. Cool. Okay. Thanks, Lexi. Okay. Good job. Well done. All right. So we've done enough for this topic. Let's move on to our other topic, which was the second one, which was about a person you know who often helps others. A person you know who often helps others. 如果你不在 cctalk 看这个直播，如果你在知乎，你可以来 cctalk， 你可以回答这些 Part 2 和 Part 3的雅思问题，我可以听你的英语，我可以给你一些反馈。所以只要知道cctalk， 然后输入这个密码，这个号码就是888417722，就是2嘛，对2 ，OK， right， let's get some people for the next topic. So this one is about a person you know who is helpful. So we're going to choose our first student. Hello.
Hello, John.
Hi. What's your name?
Kate.
Hi again, Kate. Hello. Nice to talk to you today. Okay. All right, Kate. So you've got to describe a person you know who often helps others. Remember, you've got 1 to 2 minutes for this, so don't worry if I stop you. I'll tell you when the time is up. Can you start speaking now, please?
Okay. So the person I know that always help others is my bestie Thomas. So I know him from a party. Yeah. So he was introduced by another friend called Sarah, and it was. I remember it was last Easter. So he usually help others do whatever he can. For example, last month, our common friend Rob asked him to help him move, and he did what Rob asked him to do. Yeah. So I remember, like, I heard a lot of friends said Thomas is a very good guy. He helped them move their lawn, move their place, fix their fence. Yeah, you name it, he will do it. And personally, I remember there was one time that Tom helped me. He helped me. He drove me from my place to the airport. So I forgot to book my ticket from my place to airport.
Thank you, Kate. Okay, thank you. Well done. That's 2 minutes. All right. Okay, well done, Kate. Good job. So well done. You kept talking there for 2 minutes. So that was good. That was a good sign of your fluency. Pronunciation, very good pronunciation throughout the whole answer. And generally, it was a pretty logical answer. There was just kind of maybe one logical problem with your answer. So Kate, you live in China, right? You live in China at the moment.
No.
Sorry. Where do you live?
So I was living in Australia. Yeah. So but currently, because of the COVID-19, I am living in China.
So you do live in China now, right? Okay. So you were talking about that time when you were living in Australia.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, that's fine. That's perfect. But you should say that in your answer. Say that at the start of your answer. Otherwise, your examiner is going to be saying, "How the fuck does she have these friends, Rob and Thomas and Sarah, and mowing each other's lawns? Where are the lawns here in Beijing? Or I think you're in Chengdu, right? Nobody has lawns in Chengdu. So it's going to feel weird to the examiner unless you explain that. So I'm going to talk about my friends I'm going to talk about my friend Thomas, who I met when I was in Australia. That would make sense. Just that would have made your answer more logical. But it was still a good answer, and a lot of good things in your answer. Some good vocabulary. Let's see. Just one little pronunciation thing.
Okay.
Just this. So this word, I think maybe 9 out of every 10 Chinese speakers of English get this word wrong in pronunciation. Can you try that again? Usually. Exactly. Well done, Kate. Yeah, that's exactly it. Just the problem is when you're speaking like at full pace, at full speed, I think you're not pronouncing the second sound of that word. Like earlier, you said usually. You didn't pronounce it. Usually. So it's good. You can pronounce it. You can pronounce it perfectly. But I think you're just not aware when you're speaking quickly that you're not pronouncing it correctly. So I would say, when you're speaking, just be a little bit more careful of the pronunciation of that word, and just maybe slow down before you say the word to give yourself a chance to get out the zhu sound, or just use the word normally, because it's the same. Either of those would be okay. Let's see.
Can I ask a question here, please?
Sure. Let me give you 2 more pieces of advice, and then remember your question and ask it then. Okay? Is that okay?
Okay.
So then the next piece of advice is, you said, my bestie Thomas. Maybe 5 years ago, native speakers started to use the word bestie for about, like, especially like girls in America, maybe especially girls in California, and especially girls who are maybe like 10 to 15 years old started to use the word bestie at that time. And I think they don't use it anymore, or it's very rare anymore. But now in China, everybody's using fucking bestie instead of best friend. Just say best friend. Native speakers very rarely use the word bestie, and it sounds kind of childish. So say my best friend Thomas. Don't say my bestie Thomas. My best friend Thomas. Okay, that's one other thing. And then the last thing, you said, so that you listed some things that Thomas, your friend Thomas, helps people to do, and they were all good examples and some good vocabulary in those things that you said as well. But just one thing you didn't quite get right. You said he helps them to move their place. To move their place. So not move their place, but does anybody know how could we say that? Kate, you can guess, or anybody at home can write in a message. Well done, Alice. Yeah, Alice has it. Yeah, helps them to move home.
Oh, okay.
To move home. Now, move home has two different meanings. One meaning is like 从一个房子搬到另外一个房子, that is to move home. But then another meaning of move home is 如果你不住你父母的家，搬回你父母家, to move back with your parents, to move home again. So there it has two meanings. So you could say, Kate could say Thomas helps his friends to move home, or she could also just say helps his friends to move. In this context, to move also means to move home. It's the same as to move home. So either of those would be okay. Okay, Kate, you had a question?
Yes. So in the questions here, you wrote in the messages, you wrote who the person is and how you know them or who they usually help. I'm confused about, like, are you asking a single person or a lot of people?
Excellent. Very good question, Kate. Thank you. Very good question. Okay. I think I've got a video about this on Bilibili, but a lot of people don't understand this. In English, when we don't know the sex of the person we're talking about, when we don't know the gender of the person who we're talking about, we use them to describe a single person. So, for example, let's see. For example, let's say I wanted to ask you, 如果你有一个需要帮助的朋友，你会帮助他吗？如果你有一个需要帮助的朋友，你会帮助他吗？ So in English so in Chinese that 他 would be like 男人的他, because that's we don't know if the friend is a man or a woman. So if you were writing Chinese, you would write that 他 as 男人的他. But in English, when we don't know if we're talking about a man or a woman, we use them. So that sentence in Chinese, 如果你有一个需要帮助的朋友，你会不会帮助他? That is, if you had a friend who needed help, would you help them? It's not would you help him, because we don't know. Is that friend a man or a woman? We don't know. It's just a friend. It's not would you help her, because we don't know if it's a man or a woman. So then it's kind of like, you know, the way sometimes you would say he or she. Would you help him or her? Or does he or she like going to movies, when you don't know the sex of the person? You know that expression, Kate, he or she or him or her?
Yeah.
Okay. So in native speakers, instead of saying him or her, like him, instead of saying him, her, or he or she, when we don't know the sex of the person, we'll just say them. We will just say them. So, or they are them. Is that clear?
Yes. Thanks.
Okay, good. So basically the main point is them or they doesn't always mean taman. Sometimes it can mean ta when you don't know the gender or the sex of the person. Okay. Is that your only question, Kate?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, thank you. Good job. Okay, let's get another person for this one about a helpful person. Okay, we've got a student here. Hello. Hi, what's your name?
My name is K-E, just two letters.
Okay.
Okay. So
All right. Okay. So so your topic is the same topic about a person you know who likes to help others. Remember, you've got 1 to 2 minutes for this. You can start speaking now, please.
Okay, so the person I'm going to talk about is my coworker Lena, and me and Lena, we both work for a private institute in China, Chengdu, and we are teaching middle school kids English right now. And so I first met Lena like around a year ago. That's the time when I first entered this company, and I remember Lena had already worked in this company for about like 2 to 3 years. So basically, she knows all the stuff about this company. And I want to say how Lena usually helped me and my other coworkers is she not only she has helped us on our English, including teaching and other some grammar problems, and also she helped us with a lot of administrative work. Like for example, I remember like last time she taught us how to call in sick and how to fill out the form about having our annual leave, those kind of stuff. And also Lena had she told us she was brought to the U.S. when she was 8, and she came back to China when she was 14. So basically, she has English like a native speaker. So when we have some problems on English like grammar or some pronunciation problems, we usually just go for her. And she's always really, really friendly and kind to tell us like something we do not know. And so basically that's the way she helped us, and we really appreciate what she did for us. So we usually buy some coffee and snacks for her, and so that's pretty much about. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, good. Well done. You almost. So I know you could have kept talking there, but I want to give other students a chance. But you talked there for more than 1 minute and 3/4. So well done. Good job keeping going. Your pronunciation is excellent. Excellent pronunciation, very high level pronunciation, I've got to say, very high level fluency as well, and just that was a very good quality answer overall. It seems like you're able to speak English at a pretty high level, I have to say. So well done. A lot of good things in your answer, and your answer made sense. Everything was logical about it, and you had a lot of good sentences. So really a lot more good than bad in that answer there. So thank you for that. Well done. Let's see, a couple of pointers. So first of all, so very good pronunciation overall. Also, usually you got usually right. As I said, 9 out of 10 students don't get it right, but you got it perfect. Well done. There was one thing I didn't understand. I'm not sure if it was a pronunciation mistake or if it was a vocabulary mistake or if I just didn't hear you clearly. And you said she taught us how to something, and I didn't understand what it was. She taught us how to.
She taught, or she says.
No, yeah, but I didn't understand what the next word was. She taught us how to something. I didn't hear what.
How to call in sick or something like that.
To call in sick. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah, I didn't understand that. But that makes that's a good sentence. That's a fine sentence. It maybe doesn't make a lot of sense, because how do you need somebody to teach you how to call in sick? It's just, hello, I'm sick today, I can't come into work. Why would somebody teach you how to?
This is like, I feel like it's like a Chinese thing here. It's like you cannot just come like calling sick, saying I'm sick. You need to go through a lot of paperwork. You have to show show you the HR like why you were sick. You need to get a paper from the hospital saying you were sick.
Okay. I think you're not really talking about calling in sick there. I think you're talking about applying. She taught us how to apply for sick leave.
Sick leave? Okay. Yeah.
Because they're similar. Calling in sick and applying for sick leave are similar, but calling in sick is just a very act of picking up the phone and saying, "Hey, sorry, I'm sick today. I can't come into work." So that's quite simple. But the whole process of filling out paperwork and getting confirmation from the doctor and all that whole process is applying for sick leave. And I guess that is probably what she helped you with, as opposed to calling in sick. Okay, cool. Okay, right. a couple of other things. Let's see. You said I first entered the company. I first entered the company. We wouldn't really say enter a company when we start a job. We would say no ideas how you'd say that? Or does anybody at home know?
What's that? Sorry.
You said I first entered the company. I can't remember, last year or 2 years ago or whenever. I first entered the company, but that's not quite right. That's not what we would say in English.
So I first joined the company. Joined the company. Maybe. I think the best way would be I first started work at that company, or I first started at that company, whatever, last year, or I first started at that company 3 years ago, or whatever it is. So to start working at that company, or just, we'd also say to start at that company. Okay. A general pointer, you kept using her name. So one of the things I keep talking to people about in these part twos is if you're talking about a Chinese person, and is Lena a Chinese person? Okay. Yeah, she is a Chinese person.
Is Lena Chinese? She is Chinese. You actually said that, yeah. So if you're talking about a Chinese person, generally don't use their English name. Don't use their English name, or definitely don't like make up an English name for this person. But I believe your friend here probably has an English name, Lena. I believe that's fine. But you probably say it's probably better to explain it and say, I'm going to talk about my friend Lena. I call her by her English name because we're both English teachers, or something like that. Give some reason, because otherwise it sounds really weird. Like it just sounds like me. If I was talking about my friend in Ireland, like when I was growing up, when I was a kid in Ireland, and I talked about my friend Xiaoming, like that would sound weird. You'd say, why the fuck did you have a friend called Xiaoming in Ireland? And so give some, if you want to use their English name, okay, I don't recommend it, but if you want to do it, okay, but give some explanation as to why you're using this Chinese person's English name. Then the other point is that you use her name way too much. You must have said Lena 5 times or more in the answer. So we have in English we have words like him and her for that reason. So there's no need to ever say the name of your friend or the name of a person in IELTS. But if you have said the name of the person once, then that's fine. Just say it once and then use her from that point on. Don't keep saying Lena does this and Lena helps us doing that. Lena. Just say whatever. I'm going to talk about my friend. If you want to say her name once, that's okay. But then after that, just use her. Okay. Okay, cool. So anyway, good job overall there. Thank you very much. Excellent.
Thank you very much.
Level of English in general, I would say, and hopefully those pointers can help you to get a good result. All right, cool. Okay, let's do one more for this part 2. So, and then we'll do a couple of quick part 3 questions. Okay, I'll get this person. Sorry, I think I turned on your mic and then I turned it off again. Okay, here it's on again. Okay. Hello, is your name Vinny?
Yeah.
Or do you have another name?
Good evening, John.
Okay, cool. Hi, Vinny. Okay. All right, Vinny. So it's the same topic about a helpful person. Can you start speaking now, please?
Okay. Today I want to introduce one of my friends whose name called Ding Yi, and he is the leadership of our Taekwondo association. Our school. And Ding Yi is a really handsome boy who is really trustworthy, and he really liked help the others when he was free. And as a Taekwondo player, we always kick or punch, and sometimes we will have some pains, or sometimes we will blood of our wounds. It's so hurt. So at that time, whatever Ding Yi was doing, he will have helped us to clean our wound as soon as possible. And maybe he will knit our leg, knit our hand, or even use the alcohol to clean our wound. And as you can see, he was really warm up, right? And at that time, our heart was melted. And well, anything else is that they always tell us lots of the skills about taekwondo. As you know, he as the team member, he is also the coach of our team. So in the daily life, he will taught lots of the skills for us, which make us felt really helpful. And that's all I want.
Thank you, Vinny. Thank you. Okay, Vinny, well done. I think you could have kept talking there, but I want to stop you just to move on to part 3 a bit sooner. Overall, pretty good answer, Vinny. There was a little bit of a problem with the connection, so I missed 1 or 2 sentences, but I heard most of your answer, and it was generally pretty good. So you explained how this person helps other people, and you gave some good examples of that, so it was all quite logical. Well done for that. The main problem with grammar that you have is that you're not talking about the third person. So you're not talking about, when you're saying he, you're not changing the verb. So remember, it's I like, you like, he likes, and you're not changing the verb. So for example, you said he help the other. So it should be he likes to help others. He likes to help others. And you said Vinny always tell us, and it should be, or sorry, you said not Vinny. You said he always tell us, and so it should be he always tells us. He always tells us. So you made a lot of those mistakes. So when you're talking about another person, remember you have to change the verb. So how are you going to get good at that? How are you going to get good at changing the verb? Well, there's a couple of things you can do. One is practice writing. Practice writing about other people. So do some writing practice in which you describe one other person and the things that he or she does, and then that will get you to practice changing the verb when you're talking about the third person. Another thing is record yourself speaking. So record yourself doing this kind of an IELTS question or any question where you have to talk about another person, and you can see then, am I changing the verb? Am I putting the S on the end of the verb, or have I forgotten to do that? By practicing that, you'll get used to using the third person correctly. Is that clear?
Okay.
Cool, right. Okay, one other vocabulary mistake. You said he is the leadership of. He is the leadership of.
Yeah, he is the leader of our team.
Exactly, very good. Yeah, not leadership, but leader. Good, okay. Okay, thanks, Vinny. Okay, cool. I've got to answer, so we'll move on to part 3 in a moment, but I've got to answer 1 or 2 questions. Let's see. So one person Julie wants to know, can I say I left that company? Yeah, you can. You can say I left the company. Some other ways to say that are I left the company, I quit my job at that company. One person is asking, can you say I quit from the company? Not really. No, we wouldn't say quit from. We just say I quit my job at that company, or I left the company, or I resigned from that company. Any of those would be okay. Okay. Let's go on to part 3. So we don't have much time for part 3, but I'll still do. I'll still get a few students. So our first part 3 practice is about about the topic about expensive stuff. So we're going to be talking about expensive things in general in part 3. So remember, this is your last chance to speak to me in today's live class. 然后如果你在知乎看这个直播，这是你最后一个机会来参加我们Learn with John 的 cctalk 直播，所以我推荐你来 cctalk。如果你来这里，你可以举手，然后你可以跟我说话，我可以评价你的英语。Okay, so as I said, our first topic is about expensive things. So I'm going to choose one student at random. I'm just looking for a number. Okay, random number is number 1. Okay. Hello, Lexi. You're lucky today. You've been picked out twice.
Gracias.
Okay, all right, Lexi. So your questions are generally about expensive things. So what kinds of expensive things are a lot of people buying these days?
The one thing that I think is luxuries, like some famous brand like Louis Vuitton or Chanel. I know a lot of people go abroad for traveling and they will buy those products. every time, and they even buy those products for their friends, for their relatives.
Some people say that buying those kinds of luxury items is a big waste of money and nobody should buy those kinds of items. What do you think about that?
Oh, well, I actually agree with this idea. I think those luxuries products don't actually worth that money, and I don't know. I think it's kind of consumerism. The people buy those products it's not because those products are worthwhile. It's just because maybe the history of the products and the effects of the products. They want to be labeled as rich people.
Thank you. In general, are women more interested in buying expensive things than men are?
I'm not sure about this question, but I have read an article on the website about the consumption habits of different gender. I learned from that article is like female are doing the shopping things on appliance. They have like they will do the research when they consume something, and I think generally female will do more research and they would like to save money, and they plan to buy something. Like they might make a shopping list and find out what are necessities, what is their priorities, and what are not. So generally, I think
Thank you. Okay.
More reasonable on it. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. Thanks, Lexi. Okay. Pretty good job. Pretty good answers. And so pretty clear and detailed answers for the first two questions. Your third answer was also pretty good, and you had some good vocabulary in there. I didn't get the point of your answer for a long time. So I think the point of your answer was saying that women don't generally. So the question was, are women more interested in expensive things than men? You know, you said that women will do a lot of research on the things that they buy, and they'll spend a lot of time thinking about what they're buying, I think. But I still don't understand. Do you think that women do? Is it a yes? Is it a yes or a no? Are women more interested in expensive things than men? I don't know whether you meant yes they are or no they aren't. So I wasn't clear about your answer to that one.
It's no, they aren't.
Okay, I can't hear you at the moment. Anyway.
I'm also confused.
Anyway, okay, a couple of other things I want to highlight. So one is an excellent piece of vocabulary. You said, I read an article about the consumption habits of different genders. This was excellent because you've got several different words here that you all put them together perfectly. So the consumption habits, that's a good collocation. The consumption habits of whatever, the consumption habits of men, the consumption habits of young people. So very good collocation there. And then the consumption habits of different genders. And another very good little phrase there, and you put them all together really well. So that was very good. Well done there, Lexi. One little correction. This is not really wrong, but it's also not what a native speaker would say. You said something about people like to spend money on luxuries. Native speaker would usually say luxury goods or luxury items or luxury products. A luxury, generally, it's not something that you buy. A luxury is something intangible, something that you can't touch usually. So, for example, let's say I'm off work this week. I don't have to get up early. Oh, it's such a luxury to be able to lie in bed until 10 o'clock, for example. So it's more like a feeling is a luxury, or some kind of an experience can be a luxury. Whereas in general, usually, if we're talking about a thing, a physical product, that we buy, we would say a luxury good or a luxury item or a luxury product. Okay, and let's see, and one more correction. You said, I think you said when people go abroad for traveling. When people go abroad for traveling. We wouldn't really say to do something for traveling. We would just say to go abroad on holidays or to travel abroad. So usually when we're talking about Liu Xing, travel is a verb. Travel is a verb. So we usually say to travel abroad. If you want to use a noun, we would say to go abroad for a holiday or to go abroad for a vacation. Okay? But we wouldn't say go abroad for traveling. All right? Okay. Thanks, Lexi. Pretty good job overall. Well done. Okay. And I'll get one more student for this one, and then we'll move on to the next topic. So, I've got to choose a student at random. Okay. And random number is 10. Hello.
Hi, John. It's Melissa.
Hi, what's your name?
It's Melissa.
Melissa, is it with M?
Yeah. Melissa.
Cool. Okay, Melissa. All right. Okay, so some other questions for you about the same topic. Mm-hmm. So, Melissa, are there any disadvantages to being rich?
I'm sorry. I can't catch you.
Okay. Can you repeat that? Are there any disadvantages to being rich?
To be rich. Yes, I think there is some disadvantages. The first reason is that you don't take money seriously, which means you maybe spend money like without your reason, and to as a not rich people, when I buy something, I think twice. Like this thing I use daily? This thing, do I like this thing? And when the answer is yes, then I will buy it. But for those rich people, because they have enough money to buy enough things they like, so they don't have to pay attention. Like, whatever. If I don't like it, I can buy another one. They don't think twice. That is the biggest disadvantage, I think.
Okay, thank you. So, in general, are people who own expensive things more happy than people who don't own any expensive things?
I think most people is because I think most people is, but I don't think it is a right thing. Because like luxury goods, in my opinion, the luxury just those big companies, they just create the concept, the luxury goods, and they create this concept to earn your money. You are happy to pay for this luxury goods, but most of the luxuries, they are not like so much better than a cheaper stuff. Let's say I'm trying to find an example, like a bag. For example, those expensive bags like cost thousands of money, but they are not like 10 times better than a bag that costs 100.
Okay, so is there anything that rich people can do with their money, or is there any way rich people can spend their money to make themselves more happy?
More happy. Yeah, they can do charity. In my opinion, if I'm rich, I will do charity because.
So why would doing charity make rich people more happy? Doing charity work or giving their money to charity?
Yeah. Okay. In my opinion, because the rich people, they are like a small part of people are rich, and the big part of population are not rich, so they can do charity to help those like poor people, shall we say, to give them some products they need, for example, foods, or like like clothes.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you, Melissa. Okay, good job. Some quite clever answers, some quite logical answers there. All your answers made sense, and you used some good vocabulary in your answers. I'm going to write one good sentence that you used there for everybody. You said you were talking about expensive bags. You said an expensive bag is not worth 10 times as much as a cheaper one.
10 times better than.
Yeah, well, I can't remember exactly, but yeah, maybe you said it's not 10 times better. Anyway, either way, this is a good kind of a type of sentence to learn. So it's not 10 times better than, or it's not worth 10 times as much as.
Oh, as much as, okay.
Either, what I can't remember exactly what you said, but I just remember you said it right. You said it correctly. And this is not something that most Chinese students get right. Most Chinese students make a mistake when they say this kind of a sentence, like whatever, one thing is 3 times higher than another thing, or he is 2 times heavier than his wife, or whatever. But you got it right, so well done. Let's see. Another good expression, you said, I think twice. Or I can't remember, but you said something about thinking twice.
Yeah, thinking twice.
So it basically means before you do something, you reflect on it and you think about it more carefully before you do something. And this is another good expression that native speakers use a lot, to think twice before doing something. So well done there. Let's see, a couple of little grammar mistakes. So one, you said most people is.
Are.
Yeah, most people are. Good.
Okay.
Let's see, one time when you said a small part of people, I can't remember what you were talking about, but you said a small part of people do something. So not a small part of people. So a lot of people make this mistake. So they're trying to say, 一小部分人. So it's not a small part. How do we say that? Anybody? We've got 230 people almost watching at home. So how do we say that? Few people. So Lydia says few people do that. Few people, whatever. Few people. I think it was are rich. So few people are rich. Or you could also say not many people are rich. And if you really want to say, like 小部分, yeah, good. You could say a small percentage of people, or a small proportion of people, or a minority of people. Yeah, Ruby has it there. Yeah, a minority of people. Good. Okay, any of those would be okay. Pretty good job done, Melissa, overall. Well done. Thank you. Right, our last student of the day, I'm going to pick, so we got, let's see, we got 10 people waiting, so I'm going to pick one at random. I'm going to go for number 8. Hello. Hi. Hello. Can you hear me? Hi, what's your name?
My name is Jack.
Hi, Jack. Okay, cool. All right, Jack. Our first male caller today. So welcome to you, Jack. Okay. So, Jack, let's see. Oh, you know what, Jack? I'm going to move on to another topic because I haven't done the topic about helpful people. So I'm going to ask you some questions about helpful people. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, Jack. So why are some people willing to spend a lot of time helping others?
The reason, I think the reason maybe that they are warm-hearted and they have and more importantly, they have the instinct of helping others, or or they think helping others is a precious quality nowadays.
Thank you. Okay. In general, these days, are people more or less helpful than people were in the past?
Yeah. I think especially in Chinese society, nowadays nowadays people have a trend that they are less willing to help others for the reason that they will be they may receive a bad outcome. Receive a bad outcome, just like the story of the farmer and the snake.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Thank you, Jake. All right. One last question. One more question. Why do some people not like to ask other people for help?
Could you repeat, please?
Sure. Why do some people not like asking other people for help? Okay, one last time, Jack. So why do some people not like to ask other people for help? Yeah, sorry, I can't make it any more simple. It's, why do some people not like to ask other people for help?
Well, I think the first reason is that they think they can deal with it by themselves, and second, they don't want to bother others.
Mm-hmm.
They think the trouble they encounter may trouble others too.
Okay, Jack. Okay, we're out of time. All right. Okay, thanks, Jack. Okay, Jack， 一些意见。所以最重要的就是你现在说话的速度很慢。所以你说出的句子很多都不错，然后你说出的那些单词，你用的词汇不错，但是你很难完成你的句子。你对每一个回答你都花费了大概40秒钟，然后你只说出了2个或者3个句子。所以你要提高你的流利性。我猜你之前没有做过很多口语练习嘛？你没有跟英语母语人说英语，或者你很少跟英语母语人说英语。
对。
OK， 所以你很明显应该多跟英语母语人说英语。你可以用 iTalk， 也可以用 Cambly。这样的地方找到跟你就是愿意跟你做1对1的课的英语老师，或者你也可以找跟你做语言交换的在学习中文的外国人，然后他们可以帮你练习英语，你可以帮助他们学习中文。不管怎么样，你要多一点做口语练习。你也要多一点做听力，所以听力很关键。如果你在准备雅思的话，你应该每天听，我猜至少2个小时，然后你的流利性会慢慢提高，因为你的已经词汇量不错，你用的很多词汇 都是用的对，用的正确，但是就是说话的速度很慢，所以你要提高你的流利性。
还有我觉得就是我比较缺乏，像 Part 3它不是即时题目，我就比较缺乏这种即时的就是即时反应的能力，就是那个现场即时那个反应的能力。这个请问这个怎么练？
你有没有跟别人联系这些 Part 3的回答吗？
没有。但是
OK，
但是一个
所以
关键，
如果你没有，这就是英语本身就是一个能力或者一个技能，然后如果你不练习那个能力，你就不会做得好。然后 Part 3也一样 ，Part 3你要做得好的话，你应该花费很多时间练习回答这些 Part 3类型的问题。你才会培养那个能力。但是如果你没有练习过，你当然不会做得好。OK， All right, Jack, that's all.
我觉得这个能力吧，我似乎觉得不光是英语的熟练度，而也就是说，就算把这些问题翻译成中文，然后让我用中文来及时回答的话，我觉得我也。
OK， 我不知道 Jack， 因为我觉得这些问题都不是特别复杂，所以如果你比如说为什么有一些人不希望为什么一些人不喜欢请别人的帮助，那个不是特别复杂的问题。我觉得 Jack， 如果你用中文，你就可以回答那个问题，然后如果你连用中文不能回答这个问题，我不太能帮助你，因为这些问题不是那么复杂，我觉得没有那么复杂。所以所以我觉得如果你多听英语，如果你多练习口语，你将能够回答所有这些 Part 3的问题 ，Part 1 Part 2也一样。Jack, okay, I gotta go. Okay, thank you. All right, so I see a few people, let's see, a few people have sent questions, but I can't see most of your questions because they're a long time ago. 所以如果你已经发了想问我的问题，你可以再发一点，然后我会尽量回答。我们已经超出了时间，所以呢，如果没有问题的话也好，没有，就过去时态，要用过去时态吗 ？Lately, yeah, good question, thank you, Alice. So lately, yes, is the same as recently. So the same as recently. So it's also the past. So you could say, for example, I have been very busy lately, or I have been very busy recently. You cannot say I am very busy lately. That the grammar of that is not right. So it should be I have been very busy lately. Let me think of another example. Let's see. I met a new friend lately. I met a new friend lately. 所以我已经认识了那个人。所以so that's in the past again. It's not I meet a new friend lately. It's I met a new friend lately. OK， 没有其他问题吗？应该没有吧。OK， 有提醒大家，如果你有参加我口语训练营的话，口语就是准备雅思的小组口语课。那我们从10月7号有一个位置，所以要参加的话可以现在报名参加那个10月7号的。然后如果你只想参加一节课，我们这个周末就可以。这个周末有一个学生请假，所以你可以来参加我们礼拜6的那个小组课。然后如果你希望我们每一次有一个空位就练习你的话，你可以报名我们的名单，然后我们有一个 waiting list， 每一次有一个学生请假，我们就可以联系到你。All right. So thanks to everybody who was here on cctalk and all you people on Zhihu as well. people on Zhihu 下一次你最好来 cctalk， 因为如果你在 cctalk 的话，我可以听你的英语，我可以给你们英语一些评价。Okay. Anyway, thanks very much. See you guys. Bye bye. See you next time. Oh yeah, next time is Monday. So the same time next Monday. Bye bye.